In line with Jesus' great commandment to love God and our neighbors, and his great commission, the purpose of the Buhler Mennonite Church can easily be remembered by the word great. So we are determined to glorify God through praise and worship, relate as the family of God, educate through the Word, alleviate pain and suffering in the world around us, and testify to the love and salvation of Jesus Christ. On December 27th of this year, we will celebrate our centennial as a church. From our beginning in the Buhler community, we have sought to follow God and join God's mission. A highlight of our church year is the annual Camp Mennoscah retreat weekend. Our weekend is the fourth Sunday of June, and this year it landed on Sunday, June 28th. It was a remarkable Sunday for several reasons. First, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it was the first time we had gathered in person as a worshiping fellowship in over 3 months. We were excited to see each other again. Trying to socially distance and faithfully following county recommendations, 140 people gathered for the celebration. Buhler Mennonite Church leadership's apprehension for such a gathering in such a time may have only been matched by Olivia's, but Olivia welcomed us warmly, and we thank her for her hospitality, her grace, and her flexibility. This Sunday was remarkable also for a second reason, and probably a most important reason. We gathered to baptize 11 people and to offer them the right hand of fellowship into the church. In our tradition, each person has the choice to be baptized either by sprinkling, pouring, or immersion. They also have the choice to pick the location of their baptism. Each of the 11 chose immersion, and in the Mennoscah River at Camp Mennoscah. As a pastor, I'm convinced that baptism preparation classes, or catechism, or faith exploration classes are essential for people deciding to become followers of Christ. Often I provide much of the head knowledge for such a commitment. And Camp Mennoscah, on the other hand, provides a good part of our heart knowledge towards a lifelong commitment. And for this, we are extremely grateful. Thank you, Camp Mennoscah, for your ministry, because it's a fundamental part of fulfilling Buhler Mennonite Church's mission. During the sharing of our faith stories before baptism, Camp Mennoscah is very often named as an inspirational or pivotal place or event by the sharer. This year was no different. Listen to what several of the candidates had to say about this.
I remember making my first commitment to the Christianity when we first moved back from Bolivia. I was little and talking to my mom while laying in bed. I'm not quite sure how it happened, but I told my mom that I wanted to be a Christian. My faith grew when I went to Camp Mennoscah. I loved going to the campfires and just being with God. I could feel His presence everywhere. I felt very connected to God and Jesus. To me, being a disciple of Jesus is first taking in the fact that He died for us. Because we should spread the word of Him and extend God's ways into the world. I have little experience of being a disciple of Christ, so that is something I need to work on. The main reason I want to be baptized is so I can be a member of the church and be purified and closer to God. A new verse that I've come across is 1 Corinthians 13:13. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. My favorite way to be connected to Jesus spiritually is being in nature and admiring it. I find it meaningful just talking to God when I pray.
My faith journey started when I was very young by attending church, Sunday school, and midweek. Church has taught me the ways of Jesus and how to worship and follow Him. My journey then led me to Camp Mennoscah, where I met friends who are also followers of Christ. At camp, I got to worship by singing different types of songs and listening to personal experiences by other peers. Other experiences that have led me to this point is FCA and helping others at church. As I continue this journey, a Bible verse that I will refer to is Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not rely on your own understanding. Acknowledge him in all your ways, and he will make your path straight. All of these things has guided me to where I am now, as I am ready to accept Christ. I know my journey will not stop here, as I will continue to learn, grow, and serve the Lord.
Throughout my life, church has been a big part. I have been going to church for all my life. I made my first commitment to Christ at Camp Mennoscah. During input, I realized that I wanted to accept Jesus into my heart. I talked to my counselors about it and prayed with them. I accepted Jesus into my heart then. In 2015, my mom passed away. This was one of the hardest experiences to go through in my journey. She had been fighting cancer since 2008. She had a surgery in 2008 and then eventually beat it. In 2014, the cancer came back and she ended up having 2 more surgeries in 10 months. Losing my mom was a big test to my faith. Losing her made me think, why would God do that? Take away someone that I love. I prayed about it and came to the thought this was her plan for how her life was going to go. Knowing that she is in heaven looking down on us, being illness-free with no pain, give me the will to go back to regular life with no pain of losing her. One of her favorite places was to be at Camp Mennoscah. She loved being out here as a camper or cooking, and I see that in me and my brother in our love for camp. Camp Mennoscah has been a big part of my faith. Ever since I was little, camp had always been a place that I wanted to be. Camp is a place that someone can go to and become a better Christian when they leave than they came. Camp to me is a place where I can go to become a better Christian through being around other Christians and learning from all the things you do.
I'm very happy that my brother got baptized because I believe he can be a better person.